On Thursday, the Government Accountability Office, the GAO, announced that it is opening an investigation into the impacts of offshore wind farming projects on the New Jersey coast. The GAO is a nonpartisan agency that's in charge of conducting oversight of government operations. And this investigation comes after at least 39 whales and 37 dolphins have been stranded on East Coast beaches since December. Both the dead whales and dolphins were found near locations where energy developers have been conducting offshore wind experiments. Calls are growing to put a pause on the development of more offshore wind farms. This is due to their potentially dangerous impacts on wildlife and marine life. Long Island Commercial Fishing Association Executive Director Bonnie Brady joins me. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining me. All right, Bonnie, tell me, what's the impact on commercial fishing? Are you pro these wind farms, against them, or what's the impact?
No, Greta, I've been fighting offshore wind for almost 20 years since Richie Kessel wanted to put 200 megawatts of 2-megawatt turbines within 3 miles of water south of Jones Beach. It is a type of energy source that should not be near anything that lives, breathes, or breathes. And frankly, the ocean is the last place on the planet you want to turn into an industrialized zone. So I've been doing this forever.
I think we oftentimes forget that we are sharing this planet with marine life and other animals, and yet we have to survive as well. So it's always sort of a delicate balance. But is there a direct impact on commercial fishing? Have you been able to, tie, the wind farms to commercial fishing?
It's a huge issue. I mean, you have the Thanet wind farm that was built by Dong Energy, which is now called Ørsted. And that took, they said it would take 9 months. It took 2.5 years, and it created sediment plumes that can be seen from space that are up to 6 kilometers long of sand plumes under the water, 24/7, up to 500 feet wide. The cod that were in the area are gone. They've done recent studies in Europe showing that not only is something called the wind wake effect, because these turbines that they're planning on building are over 1,000 feet tall, the size of 30 Rockefeller Center, and because of the blades, which are each the size of a football field, they wind up stealing wind from the next row. And the most recent data they've shown, actually, it extends up to 100 kilometers past the site. They want these turbine fields 1 nautical mile apart in every direction. The ones we're dealing with at the Rhode Island, Massachusetts wind energy area, which Vineyard Wind, we are one of the plaintiffs suing on the first record of decision. That's 1,409 square miles. That's 2/3 the size of the Grand Canyon National Park of turbine in every direction.
I hadn't realized the impact, on the marine life or the commercial fishing. I do know that I've been out in Iowa, for instance. I think it's Iowa, where there's a controversy over the wind farms having to do with birds. The birds are getting killed by flying into them. That there was that, but I didn't have any idea. In terms of this pause that's happening, I assume you see that as a huge step forward. Do you see the GAO stopping these wind farms?
I'm not sure that they can, because right now it's an administrative directive, but I certainly hope someone tries to join the chorus. I mean, this is the story that keeps giving. Virtually every layer back, you peel back of the offshore wind onion, is something wrong. You've got marine radar, which won't work. It's national defense, the ARSR-4 and the ASR-8 radar systems, because these things are so tall, will block line of sight for the nation's first level of defense on radar over the horizon systems. The high frequency radar, which measures current flow, which basically offers, same thing. The radar won't work through it. So that is used not only for no oil spills, that is also used to use the model for search and rescue. They've said a 1-foot error in search and the current height is equal to a 24-kilometer error in the hot zone if someone falls off a boat.
I must admit, Bonnie, you've provoked me to want to study this more, because I had no idea, and I want to take a deeper look into it. But I'm going to take a look at this one. Bonnie Brady, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, if you haven't figured out what to do on Father's Day, we have a tip.